It's week 16, y'all. We have to talk about these wide receivers, right? We need one more game to get us into the championship. The wide receivers that you put in either into your lineups or in your flex could make a big decision. Let's go over my top 10 here for week 16. Getting right to the video at number 10, we're going Terry McLaurin, right? This is a wide receiver. We saw multiple touchdowns last week. Man, he's putting up some fireworks with Jaden Daniels right now. He is showing us, look, all you had to do for my whole career so far is just get me a dang quarterback, and I'll show you that I can be a top 10 wide receiver. The dude is phenomenal, and now he gets into the top 10 into my rankings. This week, they are taking on an Eagles defense. They do rank first against opposing wide receivers. We've seen a ton of big plays right now from Terry McLaurin, and I think even though they do rank first, Terry McLaurin's going to get his. This is going to be a divisional matchup, nice hard-nosed type of matchup that could get you a lot of fantasy points, because they're going to force feed the football to Terry McLaurin quite a bit. I think Jaden Daniels is good enough. I think Terry McLaurin is good enough. And I think you put both of those good enoughs together and you're getting some fantasy football points. I like myself some Terry McLaurin here in week 16. Got to be a top 10 wide receiver for me. So go right here at number 9. We're going Davante Adams. Sometimes this scares me a little bit. Put him into my top 10. This is the first time I'm actually putting Davante Adams into my top 10 rankings. But that's because, did you see what he did last week? You do have Garrett Wilson still on the opposite side here, but it looks like Aaron Rodgers starting to shift a little bit more towards Davante Adams and really giving his old buddy more of a fantasy football opportunity at this point, right? I mean, he's getting a lot of the receptions, he's getting the targets, he's coming up with the yards, getting up the touchdowns. He's doing everything you want as a fantasy football owner. So if you have Davante Adams right now, this is the best time to have this guy. So now it's kind of paying off dividends. If you've made it this far into the playoffs with Davante Adams on your team, now's the time that you want to have him. Should have a great game, not like he did last week, but I still think he's going to have a phenomenal game. This week they are taking on a Rams defense. They ranked 22nd against opposing wide receivers. We saw an explosion from Adams last week. Now, could we see another explosion this week? Well, you could. You absolutely could. Do I expect it? No, I don't expect that. But at number 9 for me in my rankings, I had to put him in here in the top 10, right? If he's put up these kind of consistent numbers for you, I've got to recommend him that you guys got to put him into your lineup. So don't bench this guy no matter what. Get him into your lineup. I think you'll be happy that you did. I think week 16, you need him to show out. Last week, he helped you single-handedly carry you to a victory. Could he do it again this week? We're going to have to wait and see. We were along here at number 8, all the way down to 8. We have A.J. Brown, right? A.J. Brown, he's a wide receiver that you're used to seeing up there in the top 5. He's got that type of ability. The problem is that what does Jalen Hurts want to do at this point? Do we want to focus and hyper target A.J. Brown a lot? Or do we just kind of leave him into the dumpster and give the ball up to Saquon Barkley all game? So he was a little frustrated, a couple weeks ago because he wasn't involved, right? He wants to be involved. He's a good wide receiver. Him and Jalen Hurts, very good friends. A.J. Brown knows his worth. He knows his talent. And I think he has a problem kind of heeding way a little bit to Saquon Barkley, even though the team is winning. So they always say there's no I in team, but there is a ME. I think right now, A.J. Brown's saying, hey, ME over here, get me the ball. This week, they are taking on Commanders defense. They rank 16th against opposing wide receivers. He's going to need to come up big, right, for this offense this week. This is a divisional matchup. They have to get in there and play. They have to throw the football. I don't think that they're going to sit there and be able to just run with Saquon Barkley. I think they're going to have to pass some more. And I think you got to keep A.J. Brown happy. If they're going to one of the top seeds in the NFC into the playoffs, you got to keep this guy happy. You got to keep it happy as you go through. A.J. Brown should have himself a nice game here in week 16 for you. Get the guy into your lineup. Look, I know it's unusual not to have him here in the top 5, but it is what it is. I call a spade a spade. I don't put my rankings based on the names. I just do what I think they're going to produce for you in any given week. So moving right along here at number 7, we're going Puka Nacua. This is one of those wide receivers that he was really the only bright spot last week in an ugly game. Even Cooper Kupp had 0 points. Kyron Williams, very limited on the amount of points he put up. Matthew Stafford, very limited on his points that he put up. So, this week should be a little bit better, but they are taking on a Jets defense that ranks 7th against opposing wide receivers. He's taken over really as the clear top option in this offense, right? It was a little bit back and forth, a little bit Cooper Kupp, a little bit Puka Nacua. Right now, we know it is Puka's game to have. He is the young guy. He's coming in here. This could be Cooper Kupp's last season in this offense. I do expect it to be his last season. This is going to where Puka Nacua really it's going to flourish probably for years to come. Depends on what the quarterback is coming in, and taking over for Matthew Stafford. But I think this week in week 16, you need a good wide receiver. Puka Nacua, don't hesitate. Get the guy into your lineup. Should be able to have plenty of points for you. PPR, especially if you're in a PPR, you should get a lot of receptions this week. I expect him to have a nice, solid fantasy outing for you to advance you to the championship game. Now, move right along here. Number 6, we're going Amon-Ra St. Brown. And finally, we saw an explosion game like what I've been wanting to see all season long from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, This week, we already know, we've said in a lot of the videos that you watched already, but with David Montgomery going down, they might have to open up this passing offense. And if they open up the passing offense, Amon-Ra St. Brown should be a major benefactor. This week, they are taking on a Bears defense. They do rank 4th against opposing wide receivers, looking to bounce back, right, after a tough loss last week against the Bills, right? So they still are a top team. They're a top echelon team in the NFC. Losing to the Bills, the way they lost to the Bills, close matchup, putting up a ton of fantasy points. It just sucks, right? And I think it's going to eat, burn on inside of them, where they're going to come out there and say, look, we're going to score a ton of points this week. We're going to blow the doors off of somebody. I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be fun. Amon-Ra St. Brown, easily number 6 for me here in week 16. Should be rocking and rolling for you. So let's move right along here to the top 5 wide receivers. At number 5, we're going Mike Williams. And boy, did we see a nice explosion game from him last week, right? Baker Mayfield loves to throw this guy the football. He is a reliable target to catch the football. I love it. He's able to put a ton of points up for you. He's good. He has a knack for a nose for the end zone. He's got a knack to getting the ball over the goal line. He's a great, phenomenal fantasy outing. This week, they are taking on the Cowboys defense. They do rank 23rd against opposing wide receivers. Should be an easy matchup for Evans. Let's just face it, right? The Cowboys, not very good this season. They're good on paper, but not very good. But look, this week, they're losing their number 1 quarterback for the rest of the season. The Cowboys are. I mean, nobody's going to be able to compete over there with Mike Evans. He should be able to do whatever the heck he wants to. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see yet another blow-up game from Mike Evans this week. It is what it is. You got to call a spade, get the guy into your lineup. I think you'll be happy that you did. Moving right along here at number 4, it's been a while, but CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is in my top 5 wide receivers, and let's just call it. Yeah, Dak Prescott's not there, but Cooper Rush is there. He's not a very good quarterback, but he's just targeting CeeDee Lamb a ton. And if you get it in the vicinity of CeeDee Lamb, he's probably going to come down with the football. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. This week, they are taking on a Bucs defense that ranks 24th against opposing wide receivers. He is the main target for a bad quarterback, and that's okay. You don't have to have a good quarterback. As long as he can place the ball in the vicinity at a decent point, then it's good. That's all you need from the quarterback, and CeeDee Lamb is good enough to make it happen. They're using him all types of routes, screen routes, things like that, little hitch routes. They're just getting the football in CeeDee Lamb's hands, and he's able to make a lot of plays. So I'm excited to see CeeDee Lamb up here at number 4 for me, right? He's breaking back up into the top 5. I think there was been a couple weeks he hadn't even been in the top 10 wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, not even in the top 10. Completely blows my mind. But look, this week, you're 1 game away from your championship game. Get CeeDee Lamb into your lineup. Do not bench CeeDee Lamb. Get the guy into your lineups. We're right here at number 3. We're going Nico Collins, right? This is a wide receiver that clearly is the man. It did help him a little bit that Stephon Diggs he's out with the injury, so he can really, make himself prominent as the go-to guy like he did last season. But, him and Tank Dell, I mean, they're doing good things for CJ Stroud. I would say Stroud kind of regressed a little bit this season than he did last season, but he still has a good opportunity to just throw the football down the field. And Nico Collins, there's a pretty good connection there. He comes down with a lot of good touchdowns, right? He's looking for him into the red zone, and you see Nico Collins coming down with the football. But this week, they are taking on a Chiefs defense that ranks 12th against opposing wide receivers. Highly competitive game, and will look to step up. Now, the question that I have is Patrick Mahomes. I think he has a mild high ankle sprain, if I'm remembering that correctly. There's a chance he might miss this game. We'll have to wait and see. I think if Patrick Mahomes has any chance to play, he's going to be out there to play. And I'm hoping he is out there, because if he is, that makes the game a little bit more competitive. That way, Nico Collins they're going to have to pass the football even more and more and more, which is good value for Nico Collins to get even more fantasy football points for you. So Nico Collins, easily my number 3 wide receiver here in week 16. Get the guy into your lineup. Coming at number 2, I'm going Jamar Chase, right? This guy has been an absolute explosion as of late, all season long, producing for you week in and week out. Him and Joe Burrow tagging up and just conquering the NFL landscape right now and helping you in fantasy football as well. But this week, they are taking on a Browns defense. They ranks 27th against opposing wide receivers. He can explode, right? Any given week. Any week he's out there, he can put up a ton of fantasy football points for you, and I love it. It's fun to have Jamar Chase on your team, right? And especially if you have the combo. If you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase as a combo on your team, man, you're having a good time. You're having a phenomenal time right now. So, it is what it is. Jamar Chase could easily be number 1 on anyone's rankings at this point. I have him at number 2 right now, but Jamar Chase, don't get it twisted. I love this guy here in week 16. But right along here at number 1 for me, I have to put Justin Jefferson. No matter what happens, Justin Jefferson is so consistent. He may not have the explosion games like he had before, but he's so consistent, catching touchdowns, you know, catching the receptions, having the yardage. He's doing really good this season. I love Justin Jefferson. I had to put him here at number 1 for me, but this week they are taking on a Seahawks defense that ranks 17th against opposing wide receivers. He's still an alpha dog, right, on the field every given week, no matter what's going on with him. He can put up a ton of fantasy points for you in a hurry. It doesn't matter who you have at number 1, whether it's Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. They're both phenomenal plays. Either one could be 1, either one could be 2. I just have Justin Jefferson here at number 1. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. That is our top 10 wide receivers to help you get set up to go into your championship game, guys. Right? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? Most of the time, you guys watch these videos aren't even subscribed. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and also do me another favor. Leave a comment down below. Is there any wide receivers in my top 10 that you don't believe that belongs there, or is there a wide receiver that you didn't see in the top 10 that you believe should be in the top 10? Let me know in the comments below, guys. We are pumping out so many videos each and every week. The best help you set the best, you know, lineups possible. We want you to win that championship. And look, after these weeks are over, we're getting right into 2025. There is no breaks on the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network. We are pumping out so much content each and every week to help you set the best lineups possible, to draft the best lineups possible, and to be prepared so you have all the information you need to make the best draft picks possible. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.